All right, Mr. Trevino, we're just waiting for your attorney to zoom back in. Ms. Tiarina, the question on Mr. Velasquez. I know you all want to remove the in-home monitoring device. I'm assuming it's because it's with your department and not probation. Is that correct? All right, so what we're trying to do, oh, you're on mute.
All right, you go ahead. Yes, exactly, Judge. You're right.
Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that there's no downtime between us removing your device from your department and getting him on a different device with probation. So I don't know if you all in probation can collaborate on that, because I don't want him to have the device removed, or you know what, actually the way to solve this, Rebecca, when can he be fitted with an in-home device through probation?
Judge, let me call the Recovery Healthcare. That's who we do the GPS device with.
Okay.
And
So, Mr.
I'll
Velasquez.
report back to you.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Velasquez, what we'll probably end up doing is we'll have probation put you on their in-home device, and then I can sign this and have the other device removed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Ibarra, are you here for Mr. Matthew Velasquez?
I am, Judge. Sorry, I was having a hard time logging. I had to use my phone.
No problem. So what the issue is that pretrial services wants to remove their device, which I understand. So I'm trying to make sure that there is no lapse in monitoring.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what we're trying to work on.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure. And Mr. Cox, your attorney is going to be back, but he said he'll be a little bit late.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Mr. Trevino, your attorney will be back. He's just going to be a little bit late as well, okay? Mr. Trevino, as soon as your attorney arrives, we'll take up your matter. Mr. Cox, I have your paperwork. As soon as your attorney arrives, we'll take up the matter. And Mr. Velasquez, as soon as I find out information for probation, we'll take up your matter. So everyone, it's Monday. Be patient.
The judge, can I see you in a breakout room, please?
Yes, breakout room number 1. Mr. Velasquez, Sergio Ibarra.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Hi. So what I'm being told is that the soonest that they can transfer him will be on Friday,
Okay.
around 10 a.m. But he'll have to pay $315. Mr. Velasquez, will you have $315 by Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we'll do then is, are you off from work on Friday?
No, but I can take off.
Okay. So what we'll do, Mr. Ibarra, then we'll set him up through probation on Friday to get the device. And then once he has the device, probation will let me know, and then I'll sign this motion to have the device removed.
Yes, ma'am, understood. And I think he understands that as well.
Okay. And if need be, Rebecca has informed me I can put him on the indigent list, but he'll still need to pay until they actually accept him as indigent, as far as the cost of the device.
Yes, ma'am. And that might be appropriate for him. I know that he's doing his best to manage the fees on his own.
Okay. All right. So that's what we'll do. Rebecca, I'll remove this on Friday. And if you could have him placed on the indigent list.
Okay.
And do you need to speak with him to go over anything, Rebecca?
Yes, let me go out and go in a breakout room with him. I'm
All
gonna
right.
call them back and get them set up.
Okay. Mr. Velasquez, I'm going to send you and your attorney to breakout room number 1, and you can be excused from there. And Ms. Tia Arena, you can go to breakout room number 1, or either you can be excused. Meredith, I put you some things in the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
Fernando,
Yes. How are you,
hi,
Judge?
you ready on your client?
I am.
And that's Mr.
Mr.
Cox, correct?
Correct.
You confused me with their name saying Dennis Garza.
Well, I've been in 4 other hearings this morning, Judge. I forgot to change the name.
Oh, that's okay. All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 4964, State of Texas versus Michael H. Cox. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Fernando Trevino for the accused, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Cox? If you could unmute for me, please.
Yes,
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cox, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney?
yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, Mr. Cox, I'm going to show you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, Mr. Cox, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Cox, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that at each count, you're charged with theft 30,000 to 150,000? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment in each of those counts is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application in each of these counts, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty in each count and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison in each count and up to a $10,000 fine in each count? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
All right, off the record for a moment. Mr. Cabanas? Are you ready to speak with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, Mr. Trevino, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, not you, Mr. Cabanas, if you'll go to number 2, please. And Mr. Trevino, if you'll go to 2.
Okay.
And just one moment, please. 'Cause 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 Mr. Cox? Where did
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Trevino go?
I
I think
I
he got
think he went to,
confused.
did he go to room 2?
Yeah.
maybe?
No, there's a different Trevino, Fernando.
Well, I know, but they beamed me down there.
No. Okay. It's a Monday. Mr.
It is.
Cox, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. State and defense, with regards to these counts, is it both parties' intention that they would run concurrent?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there is a $0 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. Any objections to the court writing in the plea bargain agreement that counts 1 and 2 are to run concurrently?
No, Your Honor.
All right, counts 1 and count 2 are to run concurrently. There's to be restitution of $85,325 to P as in Paul, T as in Tom, sorry, Brenna, Medical Technologies. $30,910 to Quince, Quince, Medical and Surgical. There is to be no contact with Dr. Ra, R.A., Kerry, Kerry, Raman, Rahman. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement, Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
None.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, CATs 1 and 2, and state will not object to early termination if defendant completes everything and pays full restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1 in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Cox, I'm going to show you what's entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of counts 1 and count 2. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just to follow the plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right, so when is your client expected to pay this restitution amount?
Well, throughout the probation, but I'm sure they'll give him a timeline, but I think he'll be able to do so.
All right, Mr. Cox, when are you going to be able to pay this amount?
I was hoping to be able to pay a monthly payment or a weekly payment, whatever you
Well,
decided.
no, because I'm trying to figure out, you have over a total of, over $100,000 that you have to pay back.
Yes, ma'am.
So they're saying that your deferred adjudication is going to be for 4 years. My question is, are you going to be able to pay that in 4 years?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I have a medical supply company.
All right, and there's no problem with him having a medical supply company when he's charged with stealing medical supply equipment?
Your Honor, that was not a part of the agreement. I understand the court's concern. The state did have a similar concern, but based on some of the issues with the case and conversations with defense, that was not a part of the actual plea bargain at this point.
Okay, so Mr. Cox, do you know how much money you can pay a week or a month towards the $100,000?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up a calculator.
Sure, no problem.
I'm sorry. Let me grab this calculator.
Sure. I just don't want you to be on 4 years deferred adjudication and there's absolutely no way for you to pay this amount back.
Well, that one's not going to work either. Should come out to roughly about $2,500 a month.
All right, and are you able to pay that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. $0 fine, 4 years deferred adjudication, no contact with Dr. Ra Carey Rahman, restitution of $85,325 to PT Medical Technologies. $30,910 to Quince Medical and Surgical. Cats 1 and 2. $120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you completed the entire regimen of the COVID vaccination. That includes the booster shot. The court is not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do and provide proof, that will be deducted. There's to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. So if for some reason something happens and you can't report by Zoom, it'll have to be in person. There's to be
Yes, ma'am.
regular UAs, or you can do the patch. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful, Mr. Cox?
No, ma'am, I appreciate the opportunity to take care of the situation.
All right, and one last thing, proof of employment within 30 days. And there should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, next I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Cox, I don't know what was going on in your life at this time, but they want you to do the theft course. I could probably give you the theft course in, I don't know, less than 30 seconds. Don't take what doesn't belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
If you buy it, pay for it. That's it. If you have it, pay for it. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will meet you there. Probation is already in that room with another defendant, so be patient.
Does that mean,
Yes,
since you gave him the course right now that he doesn't have to take the CAT?
You can try to see if probation will accept that. I think they should accept that because that's pretty direct and to the point. But, you know, use your lawyer skills. I know you can do it, Fernando.
We'll do what we can, Your Honor.
All right, so if you'll go to breakout room number 1, Mr. Cox, and Mr. Trevino, you can go to number 1 or either you can be excused.
Okay, I actually have to go to another court, so thanks.
All righty, you're busy. Have a good one.
I had 4 this morning, Judge, and this is number 5.
I had like,
I know,
30 or 40 this morning.
but you have help.
Ooh, you got me there. All right.
Great to see
Have
you.
a good
Judge.
one.
Take care.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, you too.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
Bye.
All right, so Mr. Cox, if you'll go to 1, please. And everyone, I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, to the pretrial services officer, I can meet you in breakout room number 3. Alfonso Cabanas.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
Just wanted to give the court an update. I conferred with my client and he decided to reject the offer, Your Honor, and continue with a jury trial.
All right, let's have him come into the main room, please. Oh, Mr. Cabanas, you have to go back to the breakout room to have him come out. All right, Mr. Cabanas, it's the court's understanding that you're rejecting the state's offer. Can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so my understanding is that you're rejecting the state's offer in each of these cause numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so did your attorney have time to explain to you what the court's plea deadline date means?
That it has to be by today, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, and so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after today. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, you said Mr. Trevino at the beginning of January, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to come back on January 6th. And on that date, you'll receive your trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you on January 6th for your jury trial date.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
Mr. Cabanas, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. All right, thank you. Norma, you can let them know that Mr. Trevino can go back. And he is 17C. All right, are you Mr. Joe Gomez? Can you unmute, please? You need to unmute.
Okay, there I go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, Mr.
Okay.
Gomez, you're gonna have to come back tomorrow and you're gonna have to be on time tomorrow. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. We were trying to get the court, the Zoom information, because they, when y'all gave me the court date, told me to call back, get the Zoom information, and they just barely gave it to me.
Yes, okay. We'll just say that you had a miscommunication, but you're gonna need to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will see you then.
On the Zoom, right? Just
Yes, it will be on Zoom, but if you don't appear on time, what will end up happening is a warrant may be issued. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Who do I talk to get will it be the same information to get back on the Zoom?
No, you should speak to your attorney and your attorney will give you that information. And since the court
Okay.
has your email address, the court will give you that information as well. Do you understand?
Oh, okay, yes, ma'am, because I was talking to my attorney last week too, and I kept contacting them.
Well, here's the thing. I don't I don't think you should be telling me discussions you've had with your attorney. Just speak to your attorney, okay?
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All
We'll
right,
see you
see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Call that lady, call that paralegal. Didn't even talk to your attorney. I don't know why you had to say shit like that.
Brenda, the wife sometimes is always in charge. You know, Brenda, when I was a defense attorney and I would tell my client, this is your date, I would always have to give it to the wife or the girlfriend. I mean, I would give it to my client as well. I said, but could you please remind him of this date? Who knew?
That's what we do.
It's what we do. We're multitaskers.
We
All right,
scheduled their
so-
doctor's appointments too.
Yeah, yes. I mean, is there anything we don't do? You know? So Rebecca, on Joe Blakely. Let's see if we can have him in here tomorrow.
Another chance, Judge?
Yes, just this will be the final chance.
Okay.
And we will go from there. But everyone, we are done for today. And so I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have a great one. Oh, Brittany, I was like, that's a lot of light. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.